up, man?
What's
Back
up?
in the studio again, huh?
Back here.
You got
Once again.
We got. Well, you're not again. This is your
exactly.
first time, right? We gave him a title for the show. Like, you know, we weren't really sure where you would fit in. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to have this rotate, but you're the official Googler.
That's what I like,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
when we,
because y'all are really well versed. Like the internet's new to me, so like if I don't know what the hell
Interwebs.
you're talking about, if I don't know what the hell you're talking about, I just Google it over here.
The internet's new to me.
I'll be the all-knowing.
The all-knowing, the Googler.
Where have you been this whole time?
Yeah,
man?
what do you mean the internet's new to you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
man. You know, well, shit. You know, I just wasn't really into the whole internet stuff until last year, until I started working with you, man. Now that's all I am is internet now.
she used to do people stuff or what?
Yeah, man. You know, I was in the car business and the military, so I wasn't really doing any people stuff in the military. I fucking hated people actually back in the day.
Those people.
Now.
Those people.
I heard that people who hate everyone, like hate other people, or sometimes make the best salespeople.
Do you know what? They had a
Damn.
discussion in our group, right? Like the people that don't like because they got no problem like selling them the shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, think about some of the big scam artists that have made a bunch of money over the years, right? They obviously give no fucks about people
No.
and have made a shit ton of money. You know, the Bernie Madoffs, for example, you know? So.
They go
Isn't
to-
that kind of funny that like a dude that stole a bunch of people's money, his last name's Madoff? Like,
It was destiny, man.
He didn't exactly make it.
Their motherfucking money.
the only thing would have been better is like if that was his middle name and it was Bernie Madoff with it.
With it. Swedish? No.
Swedish, right? Well, you know, speaking of people that speaking of off, and the news this week, Texas Senator, you know, we're Texas-based, obviously, here, and
Yeah.
fucking Lion Ted, man, he got caught with his dick in his hand. You read that?
Yes, sir.
You looked that stuff up on there where it's talking about Ted Cruz and the porn
Mr.
incident?
The Google. Mr.
The
Google.
Googler.
Pull that up.
You're the
Ted
Googler,
Cruz
man.
and
We
porn.
need
Pretty
you on
history.
this.
Yeah, man, I'm
It's
on
pretty
it right
big,
here.
man. I didn't think just one thing like that, one thing like him would just blow up like that. But it's national news, you know. Everybody wants to like really blow it up. So, but what did you tell? What went down?
Well, so to my understanding, you know, Ted ran for president, and old Trump called him Lion Ted. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it kind of stuck. He couldn't shake it, right? Like he was like this. It was like Crooked Hillary. It was just there. It's just like somehow he just like got it like drilled in him, and it stuck. And a lot of people here thought he was going to be president, but I don't like the guy because, first of all, he's Canadian. He's not American. He was born in Canada. And so his parents were Americans, so you can say, but he's a naturalized citizen. But like, why did his parents leave our country to go to another country, and he wasn't born in our country? Fuck him, right? That's how I feel. First of all, I'm on
How
Team
you really
America,
feel? Yeah.
right? I think that the more we let people that weren't born here for whatever reason or another start taking power, then that's people that are more distant from our country, right? They're
Yeah.
not. And again, if his parents were such good Americans, and why the fuck they go work in Canada? Now maybe there's an answer for that. I don't know. I'm not the fucking encyclopedia.
Syrup
over here.
industry is booming out there.
Yeah,
bro,
exactly.
Free healthcare.
They did something with oil, but I mean, America's got more oil than all the other fucking continents on the planet. So why you got to go to, or all the other countries I mean on the planet? So why would you got to go to Canada? And Canada's oil's in sand, from what I understand too. Like their oil is in the dirt, so they haven't figured out a way to extract it like it is here in the South.
I mean, Cruz has one of those faces too. It's like
Smug as fuck. That was number 2.
He looks like he's just, I don't know. He's up to something.
Yeah, and he does. He looks like, you know, he's got that Joel Osteen. You know that
Yeah.
that fucking squinty bastard. Like squinty people, fucking they just look shady because that's the snake eyes thing, right?
He's an atypical establishment candidate, but they said he was supposed to be that. He was what they were going to give us, present to us as the anti-establishment guy. So,
Yeah, he just.
but he's.
But you look at a guy like
He's a
him,
crook.
and he comes in, and I know this. Like anytime you have somebody, this guy's anti-porn. That's why this is a big deal. But like, how you gonna be anti-porn, right? How you gonna be anti-fucking?
Well, what happened again?
Right, like what?
Ain't no dude
What
really anti-
happened again though on like the full thing on the setup there?
So he's got a Twitter account.
Yeah.
You know, there's haters all over Twitter.
Yeah.
Like every time president or anybody tweets, you always see like, you know, people just immediately attack him. There's people like hawking over, watching everything they like, everything they tweet. Well, somebody liked this porn called sexual. I saw the thing, right?
Yeah, sexual.
Sexual something. I forget what it was,
It's like
but it
a-
was this chick, right? And you can look up her name. What's her name? The chick that he liked her tweet. But anyway, it was like sexual preferences was the name of the Twitter handle or whatever. And it was this chick fucking a dude, right? I mean, I watched the porn. It was fucking great. You know what I'm saying? And actually, no, it wasn't. She really wasn't that cute. You know what I'm saying? Like in today's day and age, you can go to Pornhub. You can see some bad broads doing some whatever the fuck you want them to do, right?
Yeah.
This
Pornhub
chick,
has anything.
she was kind of manly, but you could kind of see Ted Cruz with her. You could be like, that's probably his thing, you know?
That's his style.
She's probably his type, you know? And so, but she's. I
didn't actually see that though.
Is that it?
In what's that?
Kiera Gordon?
Yeah, something like that. No. Just
I didn't see what she looked like.
Porn scandal.
I'm looking at this
Ted
right
Cruz
now.
porn scandal, and it should.
It looked like it was too fuzzy when I looked at it. I couldn't get
Nah,
that
I
full
watched
video.
it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I watched it on Twitter, and I looked her up. Maybe I can find it on here.
She
I
looked like
watched it
that.
this morning.
She looked like the type of chick Ted Cruz would be into.
She did look like the type of chick, and she was doing like I watched 2 or 3 of her videos, you know, for research, and because I wanted to see what her insides looked like.
Research people, research.
I was trying to check out her anatomy, and but she the one of them I watched, she was like a real estate agent, right? There's like this whole fake agent thing that's really big. So the big thing that I've noticed, I saw this on Reddit. Here we go. We're going deep, right? I saw this on Reddit yesterday.
Already going deep.
Yeah, but the big thing is like if you go to, and maybe my Pornhub's different than y'all's Pornhub, right? But like when you go to Pornhub, it's like all fake agent with like real estate agents, and I think that's because I'm tying into so many. Do you see fake agents?
I don't see the agents. No.
Okay, and then the other thing is I see a lot of stepsister and stepbrother fucking shit. Do you see a lot of stepsister and stepbrother?
They definitely
stuff?
push that out there. Yeah.
And so on Reddit,
That's
it says,
weird, man.
It is weird, right?
Yeah.
But on Reddit, it said there's a lot of millennials that's parents are divorcing at a higher rate, and so a lot of millennials are watching that because their parents get together, they both have kids, and so they're thinking like that's their fantasy and stuff like that. There was this whole explanation on this thread on Reddit.
That's
about
crazy,
it.
man.
Yeah, it is crazy. So it's like there's this the younger.
So that's the younger
generation,
generation. They're into like
Yeah.
incest porn.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's-
what a
that's
fucking deal.
disgusting.
And if you keep feeding it to them on Pornhub, then they'll obviously think it's more and more
That's
okay.
okay,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, well, they put it
and
in
it's
a-
not
you
even
know-
incest because it's step, but still that's weird. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
not just a MILF section anymore. I mean, Jesus.
You know what's not?
that's
what-
me. I watch the
That's
milfs
what
because
I'm
I'm
saying.
scared that you could be watching like hot teen. First of all, I'm not into younger girls. But like, I feel like you could be watching hot teens and then it could actually be 16, even though they said you're 18. The next
That's
thing you
true.
know, you fucking
Yeah,
up there in the
fucking
pokey,
monster.
man.
Yep.
Not
That's the worst.
today.
Not today. And that's the worst one to have right there.
It
too.
is,
Oh
man.
my
Fucking
goodness.
sexual charge. That's some
Fuck yeah.
bullshit. You like all I want to
Then you're
do
a
was
predator.
beat off. I didn't know.
That's why you
right?
go to
Like,
reputable places like Pornhub. You know,
Yeah.
you don't mess around with the shadier shit.
Yeah, don't go to the
don't
weird
dig
stuff. You
deep.
know Pornhub's
Don't
like
dig
Google
deep.
for
Don't
porn.
don't
You're
click a
safe.
pop up,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
and start going in there. You know,
Go
that's the
back
one
to
thing.
pilling on the porn sites.
Yeah, you went off road, motherfucker. Where you going?
Yeah, you gotta
Where
stay
you
on the
going?
point. Yeah, there's only a few trusted sites, right? And
Yeah.
you know that like it's safe. They're blocking the fucking content that can get you in trouble. But still, man,
It's like 3.
I'm trying to watch some
Yeah,
mature
Craigslist,
shit.
baby.
Yeah.
You
But-
stay with old ladies before you go to
Yeah, exactly.
the
Man, watch
18.
granny porn before I watch fucking youngster stuff. And so, just because, man, I've been in prison, and I was in this one prison, in federal prison, and they were
Holy
there was,
shit for the people listening right
Yeah,
now.
there was like this reformation part for like sex offenders, right?
Yeah.
So they like part of the deal was like reformation. There was like a drug rehab on the site, and then there was a reformation for these sex offenders, and it was just like this new program that they were releasing. Man, what was weird is they might give this black dude, this a crackhead, they got caught with $50 worth of rock, but he's on like a RICO act because he was fucking, part of some deal. They might give him 20 years, and they give these like weird child molesters that are peddling internet porn, like 2 or 3 in rehab, right? Like sex rehab, you know?
That's fucking
Difference
weird.
is crackhead gets out of prison, and you got crackhead on his record, but you don't have to register as a crackhead to move into a
Yeah.
neighborhood somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But the sex guys, I mean, you move in, it's on the website. It's fucking
You know
weird.
what's a
but-
gang- you know-
in certain areas.
You know what's gangster
Yeah.
gangster shit? Because I've been in prison too, so
Yeah.
I think. But they,
just-
yeah, more bad. We rehab, we rehabilitated.
It's like I was in the Navy.
Military, whatever. Yeah, it's all.
Well, one thing I noticed, I read when you're in there, obviously you get these packets, and the introductory packet, and so I go through the back of, you read it to cover because you don't have anything else
Yeah,
to do.
man,
That's
that's
one
right.
place you're gonna read the instructions. Is fucking, I really need to know this shit. So in the back though, I saw something that was weird. I had to look it up. There wasn't no Google, so I had to ask around. But they were given.
By look it up, he means
Yeah.
ask around.
Yeah, that was the Google.
That was the Google.
That was a Google there.
Google was in cell block D. He was like at the very end, 2 bunks on the right.
Google's name was Baby Joker. You know, you go to him for the information. You know, his wife responded quickly. What can I say? So anyways, in the back of the magazine, it was like they offered a free orchiectomy for the people who had those kind of problems in their head, you know, mental problems.
I'm guessing that's castration?
That's a surgical castration. Yeah, they're gonna give it to them for free in there if you want one. Cut your dick and balls off or whatever.
I think they just cut your balls out.
Is that
castration is when they cut your balls out.
I thought they were going all the way medieval with that shit.
You gotta have the dick. Yeah, it definitely don't work though, because once you cut the balls out, the dick don't work no more. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. I think in North Carolina they got a rule, whereas if you do that like 3 times, they make you go through chemical castration. You know, that's what trannies do. You know, it's like they take that shit that makes the chemicals that makes their balls dissolve, and then they go have their shit chopped off. And
I hope nothing ever happens to my fucking balls, man.
Jesus. They take pills that just boost their estrogen levels up, so they start getting like.
But there's probably there's levels to this shit, son.
Yeah.
You know, tranny level fucking 15. That's when you go the chemical castration route. Right?
Yeah. Shit. You can't tell, man.
You gotta work, there's levels.
There's levels to it, man. It just depends on your level of commitment, sir.
Yeah.
And so back to Ted Cruz.
He's
So
gonna be calling you up, Ryan. That was fucked up.
Yeah, so this chick's not really that hot, but here's what I did notice about him, is that like he immediately pulls the typical politician thing and he goes, oh, it must have been one of my interns.
Yeah. I believe him.
Do you really?
I think so, man. I don't think he would just be like.
I don't know why, yo, but I believe him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't really run his own social media.
That's true. Most politicians are dumb as a rock. They have no tech skills. They have no just fucking. Yeah. They're just talkers, and like everybody does everything for them. Yeah. You know, so that's very, very possible.
That's it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at him. Like it just doesn't feel right, man. They know what's up. They have I think Melania Trump's had 1 like on it, and it was something just out there, you know. But
so here's so let's take it a level deeper. All right, so let's say that it wasn't Lion Ted, even though that's what he's known for.
Somebody in his office. Yeah.
Like, you mean Lion Ted denied it? Okay, duly noted. Cool. But so let's say that Lion Ted didn't do it, right?
All right.
But did the person that do it on purpose to fuck with Lion Ted and get all the attention and shit like that?
Yeah.
Is this a cover up for something else?
Yeah, it could be.
Or was it a complete accident? That's the real thing. But here's what I wonder: will Congress investigate? Right? Because they seem like they always do.
I'm gonna take you a level deeper, man.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Here we go. What if old Lion Ted? What if he actually did it himself just to drum up publicity like Trump?
That's
get himself relevant again.
What if he comes out in a couple of days and he's like, I've got a masturbation problem. I'm checking myself into fucking meat beating rehab, right? Like, what if he does that?
I have a problem.
I have a sexual addiction. Me and Anthony Weiner were checking in together.
It's time for a change.
But let's think about the world that we live in today. Dude hit 1 button, 1 heart, 1 post in the middle of nowhere. Probably there's so many porn pages on Twitter, it's unreal. And then people just happen to see that. The next thing you know, we're fucking talking about it on our little podcast here a few days later. That's how big of a deal it is.
And running, like just going with it. Like there's so much you can talk about.
Yeah, it could just easily happen. Like you said, his intern was just scrolling through and just liked it and didn't even mean to like it.
Accidentally, sits down on the desk and clicks the mouse, and he happens to click the poor video.
Maybe he's just a smart man. He's just playing it all just for the publicity too. Maybe he was like, man, if I like this will drum up a whole bunch of publicity again. And, maybe he's just the low key smartest motherfucker out there. Who knows?
Yeah,
he's trying to do something.
I don't know about that.
That's a stretch, but man, it's weird the times we live in. But let's just have this conversation real quick. What's wrong with porn? I watch it. You watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking everybody I know watches it. Like, Pornhub is the most busiest website on the web. There's more people go to Pornhub every day than Google. So, what is the big deal? In Britain, they put a firewall up to where motherfuckers, why do they care if you jerk off or not? Why is the government so fucking worried that you might watch 2 people fuck and jerk off? I don't understand that.
I think it's kind of counterproductive to growing the society.
Not true, man, because you could want to murder somebody, and if you jerk off, you'd be like, I'll let that motherfucker make it today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jerking off saves lives. These motherfuckers that are cutting out porn are murderers.
But if you're jerking off, you're not fucking. You're not making. Reproducing.
But they don't want us to fuck anyway. That's why they, you know what I'm saying, like, they're importing people from other countries here. They got abortion clinics for us. Like, you'll never see fucking people from other countries at the abortion clinic.
No,
I know, I live
no.
across the street from one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some deviant shit, degenerate shit that goes on in that industry too, man.
There is some degenerate shit, but there's also a lot of good porn. You can watch any Alexis Texas, and she takes it in the ass like a good girl. You know what I mean? There's no weird shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's an old,
I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean,
I don't get it.
I mean, shit, I've been jerking off since I was probably 12 years old.
Exactly. That's fucking, it's natural.
Yeah,
If it wasn't meant to jerk off, your hand wouldn't fall exactly where your dick is.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to try it. It falls like...
I'm just playing devil's advocate here too, man. I'm like, I watch the shit. But
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I
but
don't
I
think
can
it's
see
what
why
they used to, but-
I can see why people are against it. Some things I'm like, man, if they want to be against that, there's some reasons for it, you know.
Well, Ron White tells the story. He's one of the greatest time and rhythm comedians out there, and he tells a story about his grandmother caught him jerking off when he was about 15, 16 years old, and she was very Christian lady, and she said, it says in Leviticus or whatever book, better to spill your seed in the womb of a whore than to spill it on the ground. And he goes, well, Mom, or Grandma, if you got money for a prostitute, just let me know. That'd be better for me too, right? But I mean, it's just like, it don't make any sense. So the next thing though I want to talk about is we'd like shift gears here. Went down a little dark road filled with
We
politicians
did, man.
and trannies
Came
and
out
everything.
swinging
was awesome.
today,
Came
man.
out swinging, man, right from the get-go. But so Apple, they released this, we just could calm it, just calm all this back down here, right?
Yeah.
So they released these two phones, and they call it the iPhone 8, which is cool because it's an iPhone 7,
Yeah.
right? Like that's probably what you guys have too.
Yeah, I just bought this
And
a month ago.
and it's cool that it's the iPhone.
Fuck.
But this is the first time that I haven't really wanted to go out and grab an iPhone. Like there wasn't nothing that I saw on it that it was like, oh, I gotta have that shit.
Me either.
There's a couple cool things on there, but I mean, not really. I mean, shit, I'm not gonna spend over $1,000 on a new phone. I don't want it that bad. Like, there would have to be some epic on this new phone
Well-
for me to want to do that. And the facial recognition, with, like you said, man, all these Snapchat filters, you can't tell your phone's gonna be locked out 24/7.
Well, here's the thing, with phones you don't buy them, so it's $1,000.
Sure.
They're gonna sell 3 million of these phones to AT&T, let's say, and they're gonna sell them to AT&T at $1,000 a phone, right? What AT&T is gonna do is they're gonna lease them to you for $25 a month. So your phone bill is gonna be $100, and then you're gonna lease the phone for $25 a month. You're gonna be in at least a 12-month contract at $25 a month, right? So that's
Yeah.
what, $300? Okay, then they're gonna turn around and you're gonna have to, you keep the phone, that's fine, you continue paying the $25 a month. Or what most people do is they come back, they trade it in, then they take that refurbished phone and they end up selling it on a lease again,
Yeah, exactly.
right? For another $25 a month. And then and then a year from now, a year from then, so the phone's 2 years old, then they sell it for $300.
Yep.
Jesus.
And they take them in on trade. You know, you can
Yeah.
sell them your old phones too. You know, they're just constantly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Just-
so we won't pay $1,000 for the phone unless you're one of those people that just went in there and bought the phone from
Exactly.
Apple, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You do better to lease it from Verizon or AT&T. That's what they do these days. They say free data, low phone, like $49 a month phone bill, free data, all these things that give you a really cheap phone bill, but then they make you pay $50,
So you
$75, $100 a
think
month for the
yeah.
phone.
you think it's better to? I think it's better to just go buy that phone for cash. You know, like straight up. You don't think it's better that way?
No,
really, 'cause you're gonna
because
keep
you're not
it.
going to keep it anyway.
Yeah,
and
you're
if
right.
you're going to buy a $1,000 phone, and you just lease it, and you pay $300 or $400 over the
Yeah.
course of a year or two, and then you're not stuck in it, and then you just go in and trade it anyway. The only way you would want to buy a phone for cash is if you planned on keeping it for 2 or 3 years, which we know that at the rate that technology expands, 2 or 3 years from now, a phone is going to be like a hat or fucking glasses or
the
something like
iPhone
that.
20 by then.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Well, it just seems that like it seems like they also, like even if you try to keep it for a certain time, like even longer than a year, it seems like by the time the new one comes out, it starts fucking up.
They do that.
They
Out
do
of
that on
nowhere.
purpose. They throttle the fucking data
yeah,
on
they do.
purpose. 100% they do. And that's been a conspiracy that people have been talking
know
about
they do.
forever.
Every time they come out with a new phone, man, I just fucking bought this 7 just a month ago. Man, I guarantee it's gonna start acting slower as soon as they drop these 8s.
Here's what happens. Software update coming in
Yeah.
4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's only a matter of days before the
I
software.
had this for a month, maybe 2 months, and I'm like, now I'm looking. I really get to see what happens whenever they drop this 8 now.
Yeah,
Or is it just 8 or is this a 9? They said they're like released 2 at the same time.
8 and an X.
So,
and X.
so it's half the internet calls it the X, and half the internet calls it the 10. Which is it? Won't you look that up, Google?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right here.
It's a Google.
I think
He's
it's
just
I
getting
think it's
started.
X.
He's
It
just
could
getting
be 10,
started
but it doesn't
Googling.
make any sense. They're not going to
Yeah.
skip the 8S, the 9, the 9S, and the 10. It's got to be just X.
And so, do they even do the S thing anymore? Do they have the 7S?
And that's the
I
shit
think
that trips me
that's-
out. What is the S? Is it Siri? I thought that was supposed to be Siri.
Oh yeah, you're right. The
Yeah.
S was Siri. Yes,
So
the
maybe they
Siri's
just
just
had
an
it on
auto.
the
It's a
6.
given now. So
Yeah,
this is
it's
just
good.
a 7,
So just the 7 and the 8.
and then the
yeah.
plus, like you have the bigger 7.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. But it just says X everywhere. There's nothing that actually says whether it's a 10. I think it's just an X.
Yeah, probably just an X, which is weird because they're only one more iPhone away from doing a 10. So like
Yeah.
X is really like a bad branding mark.
Maybe so.
I watched
X
the-
kind of sounds kind of cool to me.
I watched the video of the dude releasing it, and I was like, man, I don't see shit here. I'm interested in. Man.
Yeah, it's the first time I've not felt that
the
way.
wall, the screen, cool. You know, the facial recognition, why?
But
Why?
Samsung's had that wall screen, man, and honestly, that's just gonna, to me, it's probably gonna break. But they do say they have the strongest glass ever.
Yeah,
on there
Gorilla
now.
Glass
Is-
said they really stepped up.
Well, you know what I like about this one is this motherfucker's waterproof now. So
Water
hey
resistant.
now, well I've jumped in the water with this thing
Well,
already.
not much is waterproof. That means you can leave it in water, but you can.
I
it's
can
water
drop it in and have an opportunity to save it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I've lost many a phone in the toilet.
Drop that shit down.
In the toilet. I've never dropped the phone in the toilet.
Really?
It's been,
I've
you
dropped
never.
two.
I've jumped in the swimming pool with the phone a couple times
Done that.
on
Lost a couple
accident.
to the lake.
Yeah, I've probably lost one or two to the lake.
You've never been taking a piss like with your phone, looking at Facebook, and then.
I don't. I'm always scared that I'm gonna get an accidental dick pic, so I don't look at the phone.
Yeah, you have to
I have to
get a little
zoom
higher.
in, though, for
I don't
that.
want to have a
That shit would
Ted
to be
Cruz
intentional.
moment. You know,
I'd have to zoom in. That would have to be intentional for me.
I have to zoom in. Yeah, I have to
That'd be
zoom in
intentional,
too.
man.
Recording this.
I always lost mine in my hoodies, man. Like I would have like a hoodie and I would just lift it up, you know.
Oh, they'll
do my
fall
thing
out.
and
Fall
it'll
out.
Fall right out.
Yeah.
You know what I realized is an asshole lately? Gravity. You ever
Sure
like
is,
of
man.
all the
Man.
places in your car, you sit in, the phone falls right in that one fucking hole your hand can't reach down in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, seems like shit's always going the way that you wouldn't think it was. You're like, there's no way I'm gonna drop this and motherfucker fall right where you wouldn't.
If you think about it, it becomes.
Yep.
That's true. Maybe I need to quit focusing on that hole. Maybe I think they invented something that you sit over that hole where shit don't fall down there anymore.
Really?
Like you put it in your car. It's just like little.
I would
Oh,
love
yeah, they
that.
do. They
I
have
would
like a
love
little
that.
cushion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
they have a little cushion. Some of these, like my truck, man, I can tell like over the years they've widened that seat to where that gap's not even there anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they do that intentionally.
Oh no, my Maserati. Every time I sit in it, man, whatever's in my hoodie pocket, right in that damn thing.
Yeah.
And you know, I've owned that thing for a year, and I don't think about it until I sit down and hear something go.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Exactly.
It was down. So yours is like I know yours is tough to get down in there and get your
Yeah,
shit
hell
out
yeah.
of there.
Yeah.
You got to get all the way out of the car and.
And my hand don't bend, so I got to use this hand. Oh, dude, it's a whole debacle. I got to get out and turn around.
Yeah.
It's a whole debacle.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing in the Lexus.
Yep.
Same thing.
Drop the phone down there. Can't feel it either. You know, got to move the seat up and back. So
These are like the last problems that we're facing these days.
these are
man.
right. We're gonna
Yeah.
solve them and like totally evolve as a speed. Well, before long, what's gonna happen is like phone's just gonna be on us. It's gonna be in us, on us, something like that. So you ain't gonna lose it anyway.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna be driving for much longer either. You know that the days of driving is going away. The only reason, you know, Elon Musk says the only reason a person would have a driver's license is if they want to do it recreationally, and they would have to go through extra stipulations. But it wouldn't make sense for the average citizen 20 years from now to have a license.
It would be illegal, I think, to drive,
Yeah.
right? Yep. Or yeah.
Probably not illegal, but probably like owning an automatic weapon. You got to go through a lot of training before you can actually do that. You probably got to have clean records and stuff like that, so you're not vehicular jihad motherfuckers like they're doing over in London. You know,
That shit's real though.
that shit is real. I know.
Just like flashbacks that we were skirting in anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So yeah, I'm not really in love with it either, man. You know, I'm a big Apple guy. I mean, obviously we got Apple products all throughout the office here. Everybody's got iPhones. Everybody's got laptops. I got 2 laptops, 3 Apple computers between me and Amy, so I get it. But this is the first time that I haven't been like normally I'd be at the store today,
Yeah.
you know, or online ordering that bitch to my house. But this is the first time I'm like, eh. Plus, I posted this joke last night. But like these ladies, some of these ladies take that makeup off, they try to do that facial recognition, they ain't gonna know. They ain't gonna know. Same with the Snapchat filters, gonna be like, where them dog ears at, bitch?
No more of those.
No more.
Exactly, man.
They have it to where like I watched it. I guess they go over your face, and if your eyes are closed, they can't get it. So I was thinking about that at first. Like, wouldn't your chick just get you while you were asleep?
But okay, so like
And a mask,
yeah, yeah.
and a mask if you put the person's mask. They said the one thing that wouldn't work on is a twin. A twin.
See, that just seems like.
it said that if there's 7 billion people in the planet and there's 1 in a million people that looks like you that could get that facial recognition, there's 7,000 people walking around that can unlock your phone.
That's fucking wild,
That's
dude.
crazy.
7,000
I like my
people,
chances
man.
Better with my just my.
So if
thumb
you're a
print.
politician and you in some shit with the CIA, they got 6,999 motherfuckers they can roll through in your phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
But think about this. This is
They
what's
can
happening.
replace you.
You're holding this phone like this, and this is the conspiracy theorist in me because I have been in some conspiracy theories situations. But I think 2 things are happening. A, we're taking pictures, and all these pictures are going back to Apple. It asks you in the user agreement, right? They can use our pictures and shit for anything. They're mapping the world with our pictures, which is cool to make things easier for us and GPS better. But now I believe that they're fucking mapping, you know, how many people you think own an iPhone? Look that up. How many people own iPhones? Like, how many iPhone users are there?
Google got to be quick.
But think about this, like, everybody that's, like, had their face stored, that's, like, somewhere in some database somewhere. It doesn't just, like, magically store on your phone only. How many?
In 2014, 74.5 million iPhones sold.
That's just 1 year. So there's
Yeah.
probably, and that's
Jeez.
just 1 year. So there's probably 200 million iPhone users.
700 million.
700
Says
million.
March of 2015, Apple had sold a total of 700. That's 2015, 700. So they're billions probably.
So think about that for a second. And they got, let's say they got all of America to do some kind of facial scan, because there's only really 2 companies, Samsung and Apple. And they get you to do these like facial scans, and there's really only Microsoft and Apple. Google's kind of a player, you know, but in the software world. And so
I'm still tripping over the fact that you were saying that there's 7,000 people out there that can match your fucking face, man. So there's 7,000 people who can look like Ryan out there, like based off of
if
this.
you look like 1 in a million people, right? If you
Yeah,
say
that
that
makes
you're
sense.
you're 1 in a million, which is what people always say, I'm 1 in a million, then there's 7,000 motherfuckers that are just like you
Yeah, there's 7 billion.
on this planet. Think there could be like on this planet, not in another dimension, Morty, right? Like just on this, Rick and Morty got me fucked up with other dimensions. You ever watch that? This shit is great.
Once that Szechuan
Yeah,
sauce.
on Hulu.
You gotta watch it,
Yeah,
man.
dude,
It's
it's
good
great.
shit.
But so like on this planet, there could be like a black Pat, there could be like a brown Pat, there could be
Yeah.
kind of like a
Black
yellow
Pat.
Pat. There's white Pat. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think there's 7,000 people, surely they can't all be walking around America. You know. And think about, like, I don't know my heritage, maybe you know your
But this
heritage or not,
face
but there's
scanner.
probably somebody in whatever country your ancestors came from that looks an awful lot like you too.
Yeah.
You ever had somebody send you a
wild,
picture and be like, I met your doppelganger last night, and they send you, and you're always like, that motherfucker don't look like
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
exactly.
But they were pretty damn convinced enough to take a picture and send it to you, you
Yeah.
know?
That's how people's brains look at people different. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
we see ourselves differently too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we see ourselves completely differently.
Yeah.
I think I look different than what you probably think I look like, and same thing in reverse. So.
And it's true, and we do see things different, because you ever met one of your homeboys, he's like, my girl's hot as shit, and then when you meet her, you're like, all right.
All right. Good job, man.
Yeah, good job. It's like, how long can I fake this smile? So, but that is, you're right, that is crazy. 7,000, but I think I'm always on some conspiracy like the CIA, you know, like if they needed to unlock your phone because
They
some
could.
fucking terror threat or whatever, or some spy shit, then they could have, like, I'm sure Apple's like, bring. Well, these were the 7,000 people that will unlock this phone.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember the San
Instant.
Bernardino
that's
murderer?
wild, man.
Instant.
Remember that guy, the San
that?
Bernardino killer?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had that locked iPhone, and they were
Yeah.
saying, oh, he's not a terrorist, he's not a terrorist. And they were like, don't unlock his phone, because it's going to tell us he's a terrorist. And then Apple said they wouldn't unlock his phone. They didn't say they couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. They said they wouldn't.
They ended up doing it, though. You see,
Oh,
the
really?
federal court made them do it. They ended up
They
unlocking the
did?
cat's
I didn't
phone.
think
Yep.
they
Oh, I
did,
didn't-
man.
I didn't-
No,
I
they
thought they
did.
got all the way off of that shit.
No, the federal court ended up making, Google that. Make them, the Googler.
Google.
Yeah.
He's gotta be like-
He's earning his keep, man. We're going to put you in typing classes.
I got the typing down.
San Bernardino iPhone.
Yeah, I already got it.
He's
in
pushing like 25 words per minute right now, man.
there. I can do like 100 words a minute, you motherfucker.
Goddamn.
Just kidding, man. You're over-
It's like we're all
I'm not over
friends.
here doing this right
Just
here.
so everybody knows, we're all friends here. We can
See,
just
I
meet
can't
up.
see. I
I'll
thought
just
you
say-
were over there like this.
Hell no, man, I took
Can't
typing
see
classes in
past
my
the-
11th grade, man. I'm good, y'all. I may not be able to connect the funnel all the way, okay? All right, you cut me
He's
the
like,
slack.
he's like, I still
see,
chicken
man.
peck. I can hen peck like 130 words per minute.
Yeah. I don't
You
know
do
how many I
exercise?
typed.
On chicken pecking,
Really?
yeah. Just,
I bet I could hit 100 words a minute, though, if I was, like, actually typing.
Texting, You know, it's 2 fingers, hen pecking. It's just a different.
That's right. Yeah, that's using your thumbs. So like,
isn't it amazing how some people can use their thumbs in text, but they can't type? You know what I mean? They can type you a goddamn novel with their thumbs, but this is crazy. Did you know that the keyboard was originally designed to slow you down?
I've seen that before, though, man.
Well, the keyboard was designed to slow you down. That's why they put the letters in that order.
Yeah, it used to be different too. It was called a Dvorak, but
Dvorak, yeah.
Dvorak, I think it was what it's called. But no, I did see that. I have seen that before. Like I was talking to this chick, and she just was like
killing it,
just burning through it one day, man. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you can see some people these days. The pros, they just be walking and texting. They don't even look at the phone. They just know.
That's how I am.
Like Braille.
Kind of like.
Yeah.
That's probably you, huh? You can probably.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just get close to that letter, it's gonna figure out what the word is. You just hit space. And
you can probably type faster on your phone than you can on the computer, right?
He's still joking on that.
I'm just saying.
So did they unlock his phone or not?
Man, there's so much to read on here. I mean,
just Google. Did they unlock the San Bernardino murderer's
that's
iPhone?
What I'm saying. I got to get on that level.
It's like, what were you looking at to begin with?
The San Bernardino iPhone. Did they unlock it? I'm pretty sure they unlocked it. I'm gonna have to Google this shit myself.
There might have been some smoking going on before we started this.
Back up, Google.
It says federal officials say they have unlocked it Monday. The iPhone.
They did unlock it. That's crazy.
It says, man.
Yep, I thought they did, man.
FBI paid under $1 million to unlock San Bernardino.
Oh yeah, that's right. They charged $1 million to unlock it. And then I seen this, like I probably shouldn't say this
To
on the air,
unlock
but
it,
anyway.
yeah.
I seen this guy, right, who said he's in Iran and he can unlock phones for $1 million. I was with this like military friend of mine that does some like undercool.
I guarantee.
And so like there's people that can unlock it for $1 million, and so that's right. Apple didn't really unlock it. It was like some third party that charged them $1 million. And the dude that charged them, if I remember right, he was like a Persian guy.
That's wild, man. So he was just like, it's probably like a 6-digit key or something he had to type in. He's just like, $1 million.
Yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they sure did, man. 1.3 million. The hack cost over 1.3 million.
I think Apple kept 300 and they sent the dude $1 million.
Yeah,
the dude knew how to fucking hack it, and he hacked into Apple shit, and then but from another country that wasn't even Apple's people. Like that's some scary shit, right?
That is some scary shit, especially.
I don't have nothing.
That's wild. That it only cost $1 million.
Yeah. It's because it was over there. If it had been an American that had done it, it'd cost $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
$1 billion, yeah. Right.
Like I'm gonna outsource this shit. I'm gonna outsource this shit.
What I would have been like, the dude's dead, so I'd have been like, yeah, let's chuck it up, call him a terrorist, and move on. Nothing to see here, folks. Sprinkle some crack on him, let's keep going. Right?
That's true.
Our government wastes so much time. Like I saw today, the Congress was in session and they voted to get the president to denounce white supremacy. I'm like, do they not have YouTube? Like, they really wasted all of our taxpayer money to go into Congress and do this because it's all over YouTube that he said the shit on 1 million different things. And then the Congress people are so stupid they don't have YouTube or what? This is just, anyway, it's just always something. So that's just like what we face though. It's like, you know, we spend all this money on dumb stuff. It's only $1 million to unlock an unlockable phone.
Yeah,
that's some outsourced shit.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, CIA went duly noted, motherfucker.
That's a testament to the power of the. Just you can get in, what is it, jobs? What are the guru.com or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just plugged them and I don't know why.
All right. So next up is there was a Pizza Hut in Florida, and people were told to evacuate. And the manager said, if you don't show up to work tonight, there's going to be consequences and repercussions. And he was going to, he put some shit on their permanent record, and these people were told mandatory evacuation for the entire state of Florida.
So they were told by the governor or whatever.
Yeah, they were told by the governor or the mayor or whoever the hell to get the fuck out of the state. And then the Pizza Hut guy's like, listen, there's going to be people that need pizzas tonight. And we're going to feed those people, right? Like, do you think he got up and he's like, listen, Sparta, we are going to pepperoni this entire state tonight, right? You think he was all pumped up? You can't let us down, Plumb. The anchovies won't put themselves on the cheese, right? Like,
yeah, he's going hard trying to save lives out there with pizza.
This motherfucker couldn't have made more than $16, $17 an hour. Why the fuck was he willing to put his life on the line for this shit?
People just don't think. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, man. You know?
He's probably got like a lot of heat coming down to him, though. You know,
a lot of heat. He's about to have a lot of wind coming down on him,
Sure,
right?
man,
Like,
but he's probably going crazy over there, just working every day, day in and day out, and they're like, "Get these pizzas, pizza.
It's like
These quotas are gonna,
crazy, man.
yeah."
that's true. It's
We're
like
gonna
I'm having a
come.
baby. Hey, man, you said you got people coming in at 11. You know?
Exactly, man.
But
At that
it's
point-
weird how people take their job. And like, I would understand if your job was like chief engineer at NASA and you're like, you're a fucking astronaut. We got to go to the goddamn moon tonight. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You fucking make pizzas.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Shut
saying?
down for a
Like, you
couple
make
days.
pizzas.
They're clogs, man. They're clogs in the
you're
wheel.
Anyways, pizza.
Dough has got to your head.
Pizza would have to pay him his hour,
What do you got up in there?
hourly salary anyways because he was like they made him shut down.
It's probably hourly
Oh,
and probably not, but still.
It's probably
like,
his.
you
It's
know.
probably his own little. pizza
Toe
line.
the line.
So the line, can you imagine that, man? Like, so it's weird for me, because here in Dallas, as you guys know, when it ices, like it doesn't snow here, when it ices, and for those that like just watching us, I'll explain to them. So we have this thing here where it doesn't snow because the road is hot. And so since it doesn't snow, when the ice and snow come here, which it does snow, it doesn't stick, it just like melts onto the road, and then when the road gets colder,
Yeah.
which eventually happens if it stays cold long enough, it just turns into like black ice.
Yeah.
And like nobody goes to work here, and that's just ice on the road. But like literally, the freeways will be absolutely empty. You remember that? It's like creepy
Yeah, it is.
if you're one of the dumbasses like us that have 4x4 trucks that drive on the shit.
It's
you
like
know
2
what I mean?
days, 2 days a year, or 2
Yeah,
to 3 days
yeah,
a
it's
year.
usually 2 years,
Yeah.
2 days a year. Usually like December and March.
But
You
it's
know, we get
over
one
with.
last heavy
Nobody's
one.
going to work.
And nobody goes to work. So could you imagine if a fucking hurricane was coming here, right? Like,
Crazy.
like nobody goes to work when there's a little light there,
Yeah,
layer
it's
of
like
ice.
this is elements here.
Yeah.
we don't know about this shit.
That's
Yeah,
so
but there's
crazy,
still
man.
people though that'll make you go. Like I'm telling you, man, the car business is ruthless with that, man. Like remember when it was icing? They're like, you need to come into work. I'm like, dude, like there was like 6 accidents on the way to coming into work. And like, you know what I could do? Like you get a 4x4 truck, and like, damn it, you're fucking right, I do. Like I really don't have any excuse.
And it was so cold in there too. It's like,
Oh,
like
yeah,
yeah,
you
they
know
freeze
all
it.
about it. You know all about
You
it.
need to come into work.
Yeah, I mean, they want us to come into work, brother. We can barely drive around in the parking lot.
Nobody's driving, which means nobody's coming in.
But
They
this
don't
is like-
expect you to be open.
Yeah, but this is, you know, this I guess, you know, this is a little bit worse than a little bit of ice, but still, I mean, you can't make people come into work because of that shit like that. You can put in people's lives. If these people got families, man, you can't be putting people at risk like that. It's fucking retarded.
Now, first of all, the car dealership that we worked at, the driveway pulls down from the street.
Yeah,
okay?
you're sliding as soon as you come in.
Second of all, if you pull, if you pulled in and there's cars everywhere all
Yeah.
over the pad, right? Like, why the fuck would they want anybody around that? Not just you guys, but customers to even pull in there, right? That just sounds like a stupid ass thing to do. And like, why is the manager there? Why wouldn't he just be like, guys, we're taking a day off, me included? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's
what the
good.
fuck is going on there?
Because them motherfuckers becoming hard. Those motherfuckers come hard on you, come down hard on you, you know, from the
They
top.
do, man.
Like the managers are like under the most pressure. Like when I was in finance, that shit was crazy. I was like, oh man.
I don't get it.
Well,
Why you
here I
mad,
am.
bro? Why you
Here I
mad?
am.
We got all this money and you upset.
Yeah, millions and millions and millions.
I've seen the paperwork, man. I don't know what you tripping about, man. We should
Meanwhile,
see the-
like-
we could shut this ditch down for a week and you still gonna be rich.
That's right. You're sure right.
That's what they don't understand, right? It's like we could shut this motherfucker down for a month and you will still be rich.
Well, the thing is like the car dealerships, they make their money in fucking parts anyways, and parts are always closed on
Yep.
days like that. It's just the sales.
That is the
that's
thing.
open.
The money is made in parts and service,
Yeah,
and those
yeah, it is.
motherfuckers got a 9-to-5 job,
Yeah,
4 days a
how
week.
the fuck
You
are
know.
we even here, man?
Yeah,
You know,
that's-
taking $3,000 losers. I mean, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I guess we're salespeople. We gotta get paid. Damn it. Why are we complaining?
Yeah. But I'm just saying it is a little weird. Thing.
But they're just on you like so much. That it's just amazing how it starts out over there, and you get kind of wound into it. Like
You do.
we got wound up into it. You know, we probably would have been fading the hurricane too. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fuck that hurricane. Let's go.
We're all on Facebook. We're like, I ain't worried about no hurricane, but we're slashing prices on escorts over here. Right?
Exactly, 100. Remember, there was a couple times there were like fucking tornadoes, like 100, like a mile.
I was there
away.
during one of
You
those.
were,
Yeah.
Every car with a tree on it is half off right now.
And you know it's crazy because like the people who were like in the finance, you know, like the power would go out there, like they won't even let these people fucking leave. Like, we're about to be hit with a tornado, dude. Like let this guy go home, okay?
Make them stay till the power comes back on so we can fax their paperwork over to the bank.
But hey, man, I was drinking that Kool-Aid. This pizza Hut guy, he's just drinking that Kool-Aid too.
He is, man. He's drinking Pepsi. Pizza Hut's owned by Pepsi.
Good point.
Which pays, he's drinking the Pepsi. That's right. So the thing is, though, like managers do take their job a little too serious sometimes. You know, I try not to be that guy.
You're not that guy.
But I remember being there in a tornado, in a hailstorm, the all hail sale.
All
you
hail.
know, but in the if that was the car business and the mortgage business, when I did that stuff, like if there was any kind of, sometimes I'd be like, but I'm coming in, like, no, just stay at home, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. It's like, I'm not scared of this shit, right? It's like, calm down, just take the day off.
Yeah.
The banks aren't in there. They're not there anyway. You know, the
Yeah.
actual banks aren't there anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it is weird how some people take their job. But I couldn't imagine. It's like, you know, listen, this dough needs you. I got dad jokes today, right?
Dough needs.
I mean, when I was down in Houston, and I mean, there's just like, it just doesn't make any. It doesn't even make any sense for him to even say that.
But what if he was trying to be? Let me play devil's advocate. What if he was trying to be heroic?
Yeah.
Right, like we saw the Pizza Hut publicity they got in Houston when the dude baked a bunch of pizzas and put them on a boat and was handing them out to people that were trapped. Did you see that story?
Yeah.
Right, so what if this guy's like, well, fuck, that guy's not going to outdo me. Fuck Store 361. That guy's a cocksucker. I see him at the fucking company meeting. He's a smug, lying Ted Cruz looking motherfucker. We're not going to fucking fall victim to that shit. We're the heroes, right?
He might have been that.
Maybe he was that guy.
They might have done that.
But
I think if he'd approached it that way, it wouldn't even been in the news. It would have been like fucking badass delivers pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Pizza Hut strikes again.
Yeah,
It's all about positioning.
He's got his little fucking 10-foot little boat like me and Ryan Nichols had down there in Houston, a power motor fucking pumping out pizzas to people. Man, I fucking got you. You don't want to fucking come. Here's a pizza, man.
People on the roof like, hell yeah.
Showing up titties like, give me a pizza. I'll stay.
Just showing him tits, he just throws him a slice instead of a box.
Exactly. Fuck these,
They're
man, I
like,
got
what
pizza.
the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
That would be the best part is like you hold the box and then you open it and give him one slice.
And then you hand the husband who did nothing the whole box. Yeah, you're gonna need this, sir.
Hey, we're back to caveman days. The man is in charge of the food. The woman runs the house.
Exactly.
Just trying to feed my family.
Just trying to feed my family.
But it's like, you know, that feed my family shit's everywhere, man. I'll be seeing movies and they're like, I'm just trying to feed my family.
Yep, that's the phrase.
Yeah. I'm trying to feed my family too, but I ain't slinging dick.
Not Oh man.
Took it
So
down.
I don't know how far we're supposed to go on this.
Oh, we can go.
Fuck
It's
it,
just
man.
us hanging out talking.
Yeah, I
Man,
feel like
so.
I filtered a lot of thoughts today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. So last thing I want to talk about is this this security breach with Equifax. Okay, and Equifax is one of 3 main credit repositories. Okay, I know you guys know this, but I know people are going to listen to this and want to know the whole deal. So there's 3 credit repositories: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And so, like in the mortgage business, we pull all 3, and then we take what's called a tri-merge, where they average the 3 scores, or
really?
they take the middle of the 3 scores. So if TransUnion is 700, Equifax is 800, and then Experian is 740. Then 740 is the score that we went with in the mortgage business, right? And so Equifax is huge, and Equifax, if I remember correctly, used to be in El Paso. I could be wrong, but Equifax is saying that their data has been breached. Okay?
Oh, really?
And
I didn't hear this.
first of all, I don't understand how that works, right? So like, if I breach your data and I get your social security card and stuff like that, like most people, like an overwhelming majority of people have shitty credit. So even if you have their social security number, you couldn't fucking take out a damn payday loan with the motherfucker anyway, right?
Right.
And then someone like me, if you pull my credit, the credit card company, the first thing they're going to do is call, right? They're going to say, hey, we received this inquiry for your stuff, which has happened before to me. And we want to make sure that it was really you. I wrote a check to Amin the other day, and the bank called me to make sure that the check would cash.
That's cool.
That I had really written it to them. And so thinking about that, it's like these guys say that there's this security data breach, but if they're the credit repository, so wouldn't it make sense for them to just put a freeze on their own shit?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the plot thickens, gentlemen. I have a conspiracy. Imagine that. I think
Funny.
it's all a marketing ploy. Because here's what happens. They say, and this is genius, okay? I'm not knocking it. I'm just mad because I didn't think of it. They said that their data was breached, and they put up a sales funnel. It says, enter your information to find out if your data was breached.
That's so genius too.
Think about this. And then when you opt into it, the thing at the bottom says that you can, then what they're doing is they're pitching you on a $25, it's either a month or a year, credit protection program. So if you'd like to protect against future things like this, then it's $25 a month or a year to make sure. So they're telling people, you were affected or you weren't affected, but if you want to make sure that this doesn't happen to you again. So really, I don't think their data was breached at all.
I think they're just trying to add another level to their sales.
That's genius.
I think they took a playbook out of the CNN. I think they took a move out of the CNN playbook. Some
And if
fake
they
news.
didn't do that, you need one of us need to hop on the phone call with like the CEO of Equifax and have a little chat, tell them we'll build them a funnel. You know what I'm saying?
They got
No,
it.
that's exactly. No, the funnel's there. I've seen it.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
no, the funnel's there, and that's why I could say it's like, hey, they're opting in, because if you read the small print, that's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing is they're opting in, and so they're saying, hey, our shit was breached. You need to find out if your stuff was breached, which is an opt-in, and then they're pitching them on credit protection
Yeah,
insurance.
Yeah, I guarantee that's probably what it was.
Oh,
Because,
I
like,
feel it.
You've already figured it out.
Yeah, I
because
feel it.
and not everyone has their credit blocked, but my truck was stolen a couple years ago while I was working at Park Cities Ford in the middle of the freaking day. But my last dog tag that I'd had in Iraq, I had to hang it up there, man, and it had my social, and it had my fucking house address and all this shit.
Your dog tags have the social number, social
Yeah.
security number on
Yeah,
them?
it sure does. And that
That's
was my
pretty
last
wild,
one,
man.
I know, it's sad though, man. Like whenever I found the truck, it was like I guess 60 or 90 days later, like they'd even taken my damn dog tag out of there, so I blocked all my shit. So like you said, like smart people, we got our credit protected. We would have heard something by now, you know.
People with good credit know that it takes a lot of work to get good credit.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it really does. Man.
You have a new car, you have a new truck. I've seen you buy 2 trucks since we just been working together here. You have a new boat. Like I have a new house, cars, things like that. Like it takes a lot of work to build up to that level,
Years, man,
right?
years,
And
yeah.
and then when you get there, you're like, I don't want anybody to fuck this up for me, you know?
You can fuck it up fast, but you
You
can
can fuck
get
it
it
up,
back
fuck it up
pretty,
real fast.
You have to work at it though, but you can get it back up pretty
can.
easily too.
It just depends on how.
But
depends on what happens.
But in the mortgage business, man, I've seen people come in to the mortgage business that someone hacked their, like, the worst was a guy came in one time and he was a junior and his dad was an alcoholic and the dad had fucking applied for some like loans and shit, some credit cards using Junior's name. And what happened though was the dad.
My dad did to my
Yeah.
brother.
His dad did that to him because he was Craig.
Yeah, and so like fucking he got his shit, like the kid had his
Yeah.
shit together and the dad fucking murdered his credit.
Yep.
But there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
There's nothing you can do about it except for pay off the dets that he ran up or hope that he
Settle them.
pays them off.
That's
Yeah.
wild, man. There's nothing. Yeah, my brother had to pay all his off. That's
And what
crazy.
you gonna do? You gonna throw your dad in federal prison? I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's like nothing you can fucking
Shit,
do.
man. Like, but why would you do that? But I don't know.
Good old family, man.
Man,
Good old
you know,
family.
that's why I ain't got one. You know, that's why I ain't got one.
You could be going. You could be enjoying it.
Yeah, it's like nothing else you take away from this show today. It's like don't name your kids Junior, right? Like, because they will fuck your credit up if they turn out to be junkies,
Yeah,
right?
no doubt about that.
Or if you're a junkie, you should name your kid Junior, because if he gets his shit together, you can always go back and fuck him.
And they will. That's the sad thing about it, man.
So yeah, well there you have it. So Equifax, I
And-
guess,
and
or
dads ruin credit.
Equifax scammed the world. You know, good job. Let's get fucking shout out to those
Yeah,
guys, man.
man.
We can
Well
add a
done.
sound effect in here, like a.
It's such a
Yeah.
popular company too, man. Like,
They're
I
huge.
guarantee
One of
they're-
3.
I guarantee if they planned that, which I guarantee they did, they're making bank.
I wonder how many opt-ins a day they get to that funnel.
Holy shit, a lot.
That's one of those
I
things
bet they
too.
had
It's so.
2,
It's,
3, 4, 5, 10 million opt-ins yesterday alone. What do you bet?
Shit.
absolutely. They
'Cause
get.
it was big news
It's
everywhere.
100
TV,
million, right?
Trending.
100 million, but not just those 100 million that were breached.
they
That's
said
just what they said.
100
100
million
100 million, 100 grillion. But they have yeah. There's all the other people. There's 300 million people that would be like interested in knowing that. Yeah.
300, and then they posting that shit everywhere. And most people care about their credit. You know, most adults. I guess you can't say.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. This says the data breach is the worst ever because the amount of people affected and the sensitive type of information exposed. The company says as many as 143 million. So they use this astronomical number because they're like 10 million. Like,
That's
it's
what
probably
you
not
do.
me.
Yeah,
Start off
exactly.
big. Start
They
off
use this
big.
astronomical number. They're like, fuck, there's only 143 million people that probably have a social security number.
Yeah, and then they can also turn around and say that they protected all of them.
That was the ultimate thing right
Hey,
there.
hold on.
It's an
Are
irresistible
they
offer
publicly
too.
traded? Because I'm about to buy their shit.
Because you really think maybe
That's
there's
good,
something
yeah.
there. Maybe there's some kind of action I can take right now.
Are they publicly? I'm on E-Trade
Yeah, let
right
me
now.
know.
Maybe people would think, maybe there's some kind of action I can take to save my.
Oh my God, it is publicly
credit.
traded.
Really?
Please let it be. Oh yeah, I'm fucking about to buy this shit.
How much are you gonna buy in?
First, I got to transfer some money. Y'all can watch live on the air because I'm about to do this
Hey,
shit.
let me
Because
see
they're
that.
about to go up. If they sell all that shit, they're about to go up. And right now, their stock's going down because people think they're breached. But I think it's a sales funnel.
Can you check on their
There's a
stocks
sales
right
funnel.
now?
Yeah, it's
going
down. Yes,
Can
yes.
you put in $2,000? I'll just give you $2,000.
I'm about to buy it in my retirement account, so you won't get it back.
Oh, the return or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just get my own U-Trade account then. You told me to do that shit a month ago, 2 months ago, anyways.
Yep.
Slacking. Gotta take action, man. Gotta take action. Don't fuck
Massive
it up.
action.
Retirement money amount 2,000.
Get to watch this live right here. Transaction. Man, that is
Just trying to get on Ryan's level over here.
Yeah, man. I gotta.
Trying to level up.
So year to date.
There's just so much leveling up to do.
Well,
It's
man,
level
this is
to
the
this shit.
for the protection we timed out. What, bitch?
We're on like, I don't even know what level.
I'm on like
level.
like 2 or 3 maybe. You know,
Trying to get to level 2.
Like level 5.
I'm trying to get to
6.
level 2, man.
Level
It's
2.
not letting
Yeah,
me-
it's like level 10 over here. We're like level 1.
I'm gonna do this shit from the desktop. I guess it's not letting me transfer it in here real quick. I just transferred 5Gs this morning into this. I didn't think of this whole Equifax thing until right now. I'm like, oh shit. Let's see, 2,000.
Good thing we brought it up.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
at,
it is.
we're
It's
at,
a good thing.
45.
45.
Yeah. Ryan?
Yeah, we're about to stop here in 1 second with the show. We're just gonna do this, transfer this money, and then go over here to the dashboard. Retirement money should have
Making deals on air. Live.
making deals
We're not
on the
live,
air.
though.
Now
We're
I'm
not
gonna go over
live.
here to Equifax and I'm gonna buy this shit. It's down $11 today too. It's down 10% today.
Is it really?
Really?
Fucking
It's
A.
gonna go right back up and all these people buying into it.
Dude, all these people buying into it.
Yeah.
It's fucking. I'm gonna turn
Can't
around. It's
help.
gonna be
Because they
awesome.
can-
Do you think that,
So you can make
do you
a
think
deal.
that,
Oh,
that-
what in the fuck? I gotta do this from my desktop. It's not gonna work.
is
here.
the funnel off their actual page, like linked to Equifax or
And their
whatever?
Facebook,
Okay.
they're running Facebook ads to it and everything.
Oh,
So you
really?
know they're fucking pumping it. They're about to fucking be so profitable. So hey, guys, I say this for everybody watching. I'm not a licensed financial stock guy. Like it's probably a bad idea to buy this stock. You probably should never buy this stock. You should definitely never listen to me when it comes to buying stocks. And fucking there you have it. So that's it for this episode, fellas. I can get my ass to work.
Cool, man. Yeah, I
got
got
a meeting
lots
with
of
Ken
people.
Shamrock in 7 minutes. So
Peace
there's
out,
that.
man.
Deal.
Later, fellas.
Later.